Assalamu alaikum dear students. Before taking the next part of this poem, Miracles, I am going to repeat some important points that are related with the first part that I am going to repeat. Miracles means wonders. Miracles means believed to be done by God or by any supernatural forces. And this poem is written by Walter Whitman. He was born in 1819 and died in 1892. So we can say he is a 19th century poet. He was an American poet. Essayist means he had written essays. Journalist means he wrote for the magazines and newspapers. And humanist means he supported the principles of humanism. Or we can say he believed in individual liberty. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon. It means their work had been generally accepted by the American law, by the American rule. And Whitman is also called the father of free verse. Yes, you must know what means free verse. Free verse means in which there is no rhythm and rhyme. And this poem, which is written by Walter Whitman, Miracles, it is also a free verse poem. Dear students, one more thing that you must remember. Walter Whitman, he had worked in different fields. He worked as a journalist, teacher, government clerk, and volunteer nurse during the American Civil War, in addition to publishing his poetry, which Leaves of Grass, that he gave his own money for its publication, and which was published in the 1855. And one more thing that you must remember, dear students, the cause of death, that was a stroke. And at that time he was admitted in New Jersey, where his health deteriorated. And he died at the age of 72, that you must remember. And his funeral became a public spectacle. That what it means, funeral means burial ceremony. His burial ceremony that became a public show, public exhibition at the time of his death. This poem begins with a question: why, who makes much of a miracle? Makes much of means greatly admired, greatly excited. The people who greatly excited of miracles which happen unexpectedly, which happen rarely. And the poet's attitude regarding the miracles, that is quite different. He draws his miracles from everyday life. The poet says the people and the city life are full of miracles. And the poet believes whatever he sees is a miracle for him. Whether he was walking the streets of Manhattan. Manhattan, distance, is the most crowded and busiest place of this city, New York City, where the large number of people were moving, and that created an image in the minds of the poet about this place, the streets of Manhattan. So the poet says it is a miracle for him. The streets of Manhattan, or dot my sight over the roofs of houses towards the sky. When the poet was looking towards the multi-storied buildings, the poet says it is also a miracle for him. And the roofs of houses, it also created an image in the mind of the poet when he was looking towards those buildings, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water. When the poet was walking with naked feet along the beach, beach means the sandy area that is on the bank of a sea. And when he was walking with the naked feet, the poet says it is also a miracle for him. Or stand under trees in the woods. When the poet was standing under the trees in the forest, the poet says it is also a miracle for him. Or talk by the day with anyone I love. or talks by the day with anyone he loves, the poet says it is also a miracle for him. Or sit at the table at dinner with the rest. When he sits at the table with his family at dinner, the poet said it is also a miracle for him. Or looks at strangers opposite me riding in the car. When the poet looks at strangers, means unknown persons who were sitting opposite to him in this car, subway car. I am going to clear you what means subway cars. An underground railway in America is called subway, and the railway carriages are called subway cars, in which the people travel from one place to another place. The poet says it is also a miracle for him when he looks at the strangers who were sitting opposite him riding in the car. Dear students, those miracles are man-made miracles. Or watch honeybee busy around the hive on a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the fields, or the wonderfulness of sundown, or of stars shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in spring. Or watch honeybees, and the poet watches the activity of honeybees around the hive, around the container. The poet says it is also a miracle for him. Or animals feeding in the fields. When the poet has seen the animals feeding in large numbers, they are feeding in the fields. The poet says it is also a miracle for him. Or the wonderfulness of the sundown. Sundown means sunset. That is a beautiful scene which is created. The poet says it is also a miracle for him. And these are the miracles that are connected with the nature, or of stars shining so quiet and bright. The poet says it is also a miracle for him when the stars, they were shining so quiet and bright. Or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in the spring. Exquisite means beautiful, fine thin curve of new moon. In which season? In spring season. The poet says it is also a miracle for him. These with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles. These with the rest. The poet says that there are something that he has mentioned and something that he has not mentioned. All the thing, one and all the things are miracles. The whole referring, yet each distinct and in its place. The whole referring means they are closely related in this universe. The things are closely related. But at the same time, they are separate, they are distinct, they are different. And in its place means everything has its own place in this universe. That is also a miracle for the poet. The poet says it is also a miracle for him. To me, every hour of light and dark is a miracle. Every hour of the day and night, the poet said it is also a miracle for him. Every cubic inch of the space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is separate with the same. That the poet says it is also a miracle. Yard is a measuring rod. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. The poet says, what is under the earth? Whatever is under the earth. All these things which are under the earth, they are also miracle for the poet. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The poet says, here he is going to, we can say, talk about the thing which is continual miracle, that is the sea. Why the sea is continual miracle? The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with the men in them, These are also miracles for the poet, and these miracles are connected with the sea, that is continual miracle for the poet. And what stranger miracles are there? The poet says nothing is stranger for him. Clear? या दुनियास मज मान खतर कहें ते stranger, and he sees miracles in everything. Thank you.